Welcome to Wilbur D. Rowe Middle School, where the teachers are great and every single kid is cool. Truly learn with the common goal. We are safe, respectful, and responsible. Home to math minds, some of the best readers, musicians, athletes, scholars, and web leaders. Lots happening in this wonderful place, and there's only one way to stay up to date. So if you got a case of the Sandbox Blues, hit the YouTube, check the Shamrock News. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Not a thing that we cannot do. Growth mindset, it's the Shamrock News. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Well, hello there, wonderful Wilbur D. Rousters. It's a pleasure to have you join us for this week's Shamrock News. I'm Raina.
And I'm Nora. Let's kick off this week with another update to our Everybody Reads board.
Hey Row, folks! Let's check in and see how many words we've read so far this quarter. Your 6th grade total is at 50.9%. Hey 6th graders, are you organizing the next dance? Because you guys sure know how to plan it. That's so funny. 7th grade, your total is 44%.
7th graders, you better keep up your word count. Soon you'll fall into the 6th graders' orbit.
8th grade, your total is also 44%. As One Direction would say, you light up my world like nobody else. Daph, you guys sure are slacking. If we got awards for this, you would only get a constellation prize.
The total is 45.5% to our goal. You know, this drawing reminds me of a restaurant they're making there. It's got great food, but no atmosphere.
Attention 7th graders, we are starting the process of selecting next year's Shamrock News team. Applications are now available.
Attention 7th graders, it's a little earlier than most years, but it's that time of year again!
It's time to select next year's Shamrock News team.
The Shamrock News team is an important part of our school.
Members of the Shamrock News organize the school dances.
We run the school-wide reading challenges.
We are in charge of the Tiny School Desk concert.
We help interview educators applying at Rowe.
It's our job to be updating individuals in the Rowe community, to demonstrate leadership, empathy, kindness, and hard work throughout the building.
Oh yeah! And we also put together over 30 episodes that are over 20 minutes long every single year!
And we want the best of this year's 7th graders for next year's Shamrock News team.
So if you'd like to apply, here's what you need to do.
Grab an application from the Shamrock News board in the main hallway.
Fill out the application, you'll need to get a parent signature.
Okay, you'll also need to provide a list of activities in which you participate. These can be school activities or out-of-school activities.
You'll also need to write an essay about why you'd be a good member for the news. You can write the essay in the packet, or you can write it in Google Docs and email it to Mr. Nix.
Explain to us why we should pick you to be a correspondent in next year's news program. And if you've made movies before, you should include them.
Finally, you'll need to give 2 teacher recommendation forms. They'll fill the forms out and submit them to Mr. Dix.
Mr. Dix and the Shamrock News members will look at the applications, score your essays, and catalog the scores your teachers give.
We will then hold interviews in April, where you and all of this year's applicants will be asked a series of questions by this year's 8th grade Shamrock News.
When the interview process is over, we'll tally up all the scores and look at other factors like your GPA, attendance, and classroom behaviors, and pick up the top 40 to 50 individuals to be involved in next year's Shamrock News.
All applications must be submitted by Monday, April 1st. All late applications will be dismissed, no exceptions.
Every year we look really forward to this process because we get to nurture and see who's going to be on next year's Shamrock News team. And just let me say right now that season 5 has been spectacular, so we are going to need to pick the cream of the crop if they are even going to hold a candle to the bright shining light that is this year's Shamrock News team. So be as honest as you can, give as much as yourself to this, and just let us know why you belong in the Shamrock News program. And then after we look at everything, we're going to pick our best 50 candidates. So we're really looking forward to it. Get those applications in by Monday, April 1st.
Springtime sports time is right around the corner. We invite all of you to sign up for track.
Guess what, guys? Spring is here. That means track is starting.
Track is a spring sport that is really fun.
Practices take place after school outside in the beautiful non-snowy sunshine.
We want you to join track.
Here are some of the events that you can participate in.
Turbo jab!
Hurdles.
Hey!
Shot put.
Ow, I think I broke my arm.
Here we go. Discus! Long jump.
Long distance.
High jump. And fun.
Track season starts soon.
Every single year, high school students come back from Milwaukee High School and they come back to Rowe and they talk to all of us 8th grade teachers and they're like, I had no idea high school was going to be this hard. And it happens every single year. And despite all the things that we may relate to them in our classes, the idea of high school being difficult really does not kick in until you're in high school. So, what we decided to do at the Shamrock News is go and talk to some of our favorite former Rowe Middle School students, former Shamrock News members, and current Milwaukee High School students, and ask them, what do our middle schoolers need to know about high school, and what kind of habits do they need to develop in order to be successful there? So, we present our very new segment, High School Habits.
Color coordination helps me stay organized because I have everything separate. So my math stuff is in a separate folder that's like blue per se, and then my other stuff is in another folder. And also when I take notes, I like to stay color coordinated because I have everything organized and I know where everything is.
To stay organized, I keep all of my papers just in case a teacher forgets to grade something or to study for the next test.
Keep your homework in a folder. Don't lose it, or else you're going to really regret it. You think your teachers are going to give you another worksheet? Yeah, no, you're gonna end up sobbing the night before when you lose your homework. Believe me, I've been there, don't worry about it, but like, you're gonna want to keep your homework in a place where you know where it is.
I think one of the best ways to stay organized is to keep a planner with all of your classes and everything.
Yeah, a planner is really important to keep track of important dates like tests or extracurricular events that are going on at school.
Without a planner, I'm very forgetful. I always forget when tests are and when things are due, but with a planner, I'm always organized and ready.
Maintain an avid binder helps me all the time. Got all my work separated, got all my homework separated, man, it's great.
Okay, on the real note, when you're doing your homework, you need to set a time of when you're gonna do it and how you're gonna do it, because you have all these things that are going on in your life. It's high school, it's a busy time. So homework and your school academics need to be your #1 priority. So set a time of when you're gonna do your homework and actually set goals of how you're gonna do it.
Alright, so I'm a freshman, so I'm pretty clueless, you know, but I do use study hall. It does help, you know, cutting into school time to get work done instead of cutting into your like free time is very helpful.
Stay organized!
Woo! If you'd like to get your hoop on after school, you aren't running track, then you need to join RBA.
Touch and Route Hoopsters, the RBA is back for its 3rd season.
That's right, our after-school basketball league starts back up after spring break on Monday, April 8th as part of the Boys and Girls After-School program.
Games will be played after school. Days will be determined by how many teams sign up.
Each team must have at least 5 members. You might want to have 6 to 7 just in case people can't make it to a game.
Games are 25 minutes long with a running clock.
We will keep track of team points and individual points on the sideline.
Shamrock News members will also be there to film the game.
Every week we will update the standings and the league leaders in the scoring average.
6th, 7th, and 8th graders are all welcome to join. In fact, each team can have 1 adult. So if you want Mr. Parrington, Mrs. Burbage, or Mr. Dix, or any of the Boys and Girls Club staff, then you may ask them as well.
Each team will get 10 games during the season. At the end of the season, there will be a single elimination tournament which will help us crown the RBA Season 3 champ.
If you're interested in being a part of the team, grab a sign-up sheet from the RBA board and fill it out with your team. Put a team name and a team caption.
Once you signed up with your team, you cannot change teams, and there will be no in-session free agent signing or trades.
Please, don't make it.
Come on out and join the RBA. Avid interviews take place this week, and some of our 8th grade Avid students have some advice for you when it comes to interviewing.
Okay, so you filled out your Avid application and you've submitted it. Now, you're waiting for the interview.
And that can be scary. People asking you questions and grading your responses. It might be a little nerve-wracking. Well, we're here to try and help calm some of that anxiety. All of us have gone through the interview process, so we'd like to give you some Avid interview tips.
The first tip for the Avid interview process is dress up. For some, this might mean dress pants and tie or a nice dress. For people like Mr. Dix, it might mean you wear a shirt with a collar and pants that button.
Take your time. If you need some private reasoning time before you answer, ask for some. Instead of rushing, think about your response.
Practice. Get together with family members or friends and have them ask you questions about yourself and your educational goals.
The last tip is be yourself. Don't try to be something or someone you're not. Be yourself and answer honestly.
There you have it, folks. We'll see you at the interviews on March 15th.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Helpful Hacks.
Have you ever not gotten to your class on time because of your locker not being able to open? Well, now you'll arrive on time to every class with our first hack, stroking the locker until it opens. This anonymous person still can't get their locker open, and they tried our first hack.
Oh no!
Boost me, man.
If that isn't working, try our next hack, hitting the locker until it opens. And finally, if you can't get your locker to open, ask one of these teachers or staff members who have keys. Parrington, Hudson, Young, Mr. Harris, Odo, or go to the counseling office. And now you should be able to unlock your locker with ease. Thanks, Helpful Hacks.
The newest episode of It's Lit podcast is now available at your favorite podcast listening/viewing application.
Anywhere you go, anywhere you look, you can find me on the low with my nose in a book. Turning through the pages, reading through the script, about to hit a million words. Yeah, it's lit, 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 lit. Said it's lit, 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 lit. Yeah, it's lit, 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 lit.
This week on the It's Lit podcast, Mr. Dix, Kalea, Gigi, and I had a deep dive dialogue about The Fault in Our Stars.
We talked about which characters we'd like to have lunch with.
I want to have lunch with Philip.
Okay, so talk about who Philip is and...
He's the oxygen tank.
Our OMG WT heck moments in the novel.
Parts we could relate to.
And our favorite quotes.
As well as the ending, you know, the crying, the laughing, the crying, and the crying, and the crying.
So tune in to the It's Lit podcast. Subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or YouTube.
It's lit!
The dance is this Friday, and we held a press conference in Shamrock News to break down all the important information that you need to know.
When is the dance?
The dance is on Friday, March 15th from 6 to 8 p.m.
How much does the dance cost?
The dance costs $2. However, if you're a member of the 1 Million Word Club, the dance is free.
Should I dress up?
You should wear whatever makes you feel comfortable. If that means dressing up, then dress up. If that means shorts and a t-shirt, then wear that.
Will there be refreshments sold at the dance?
Yes, we will be selling soda, water, and chips in the cafeteria.
Should we worry about our safety since it's the Ides of March?
No, there will be no Brutuses or Caesars allowed at the dance.
Can I bring a friend from a different school?
Only Rowe students will be allowed to attend.
How do I know if I can go?
There will be a list of student numbers in the main hallway for students who are eligible for the dance.
If I were a student, could I stay after school until the dance starts?
Only Shamrock News members and individuals who are a part of the after-school program may stay after the school before the dance.
What time do I need to get picked up by?
You must be picked up by 8:30 if you'd like to be eligible to attend the next dance.
No further questions.
The March Student of the Month theme is leadership.
For March Student of the Month, we are looking for our leaders. That's right, this one's Student of the Month theme is leadership.
These are students who take stands against hurtful comments and unkind actions. Students who demonstrate study habits and skills. Students who get to class on time and show up with their materials.
I can't do it.
And students who inspire the people around them to challenge themselves.
Of course you can't.
Caucasian, say it.
Caucasian.
So the staff members of our school will be looking for these leaders throughout the rest of this month.
Thank you for joining us this week, Rowe. See you next time on our Shamrock News.
Wow.
Viviana decided she wants to perform in the talent show.
I have decided I'm gonna join the talent show.
So Viviana grabbed a form from the Rowe's Got Talent bulletin board in the main hallway.
I need to get a form from the Rowe's Got Talent bulletin board. Now I need to fill this out.
Then she filled out the form. Once she's done filling out the form, she needs to submit it to Mr. Dix.
Alright, I filled out the form and now I'm gonna submit it to Mr. Dix.
Then once she's signed up, she needs to practice before the casting on Wednesday, March 20th and Thursday, March 21st.
Now I need to practice. To be or not to be is the question.
On Wednesday, March 20th and Thursday, March 21st, she'll audition at the casting in the cafeteria.
You know my poetry for you guys, you might need these. So you can take as many. To be or not to be was the question. That's all we can say for lunch. I try to be cool and it just doesn't work out sometimes. Because kids, they look at me and then they're like, oh, she's lonely and I have to sit alone. And it's kind of sad. I don't know what to say about it. And I'm just there at the table and I'm really alone and it's just not okay. Like, I try and I really do try, but like, it just doesn't work out. That was beautiful.
Then she'll need to show up to practice once a week until the night of the event.
Whether or not I want to eat in the cafeteria or in here, you know, and then
Finally, it will be time for the event. Viviana will get dressed up in whatever that fits her talent and perform at the Milwaukee Auditorium.
If you want to be like me, sign up to the Rowe's Got Talent.
That's the team. Okay. Are we saying this part?
Hey now, folks! We are currently at about 55 million words for. Oh no, I said we're gonna.
Grab an application from the.
It's a little bit earlier.
Ready, Susie? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh wait, never mind. 3, 2, 1, go.
Since our last names are both Johnson, we're gonna be the Little Rocks. The Breaks. Or the Breaks.
It's gonna be so fun. The weather's gonna be 100 degrees and more, and you're gonna love it.
This week on the It's Lit podcast, Mr. Dix, Kalea, Gigi, and I had a deep dive dialogue. It's tongue twister.
I know, it's great.
Oh my god.
I just heard Mr. Dix.
Schwupps.
Let's go. Crap, I forgot how it was. It's fine. Oh yeah, you were A.
No, try again. You got it.
Oh, this is not a good idea.
It's like a camel getting up.